Okay, let's talk about the Phoenix housing market. If you're trying to make sense of it, you know the headlines are all over the place. So today, we're going to cut right through all that noise. We're going to take a clear, data-driven look at what is actually going on as of November 2025.
So what's the deal? Is the Phoenix real estate market crashing, or is it just calming down? I mean, after the last few years of absolute extremes, that is the #1 question on everybody's mind. And today, we are going to answer it with nothing but the facts.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about what we're calling the new equilibrium. Then we'll dig deep into the November numbers. After that, we'll translate what all this data actually means for you personally. We'll explore the tale of two very different valleys, and then we'll wrap up with your next move.
All right, let's dive right in. The new equilibrium. You can pretty much forget the chaos of the last few years. Phoenix real estate has entered a brand new phase, and the key word here is balance.
Look, this is probably the single most important idea to get your head around. The market is not crashing. What it's doing is more like settling onto a controlled plateau. Instead of this dramatic fall, it's just cooled off from its peak and found a stable, level ground. Think of it less like falling off a cliff and more like a plane reaching a comfortable, sustainable cruising altitude.
And the proof is right here in the numbers. The median sales price in November was $450,000. And get this, that's the exact same price it was in November of 2024, a full year of stability. That flat line is our first big clue that we're in a much more balanced market.
Now, to really understand what market balance means, you have to know this metric, months of supply. It sounds kind of technical, but it's super simple. It just answers the question, how long would it take to sell every single house currently for sale? The sweet spot, the magic number for a healthy, balanced market, is somewhere between 4 and 6 months.
So, where are we? Well, as of November, Phoenix is sitting right in that sweet spot. We're at 4.63 months of supply. And you can see the journey we've been on. We've been steadily climbing right into that healthy, balanced zone. This officially means the frantic, crazy seller's market is in the rearview mirror. We're in a market now where both buyers and sellers can get a fair shake.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. November by the numbers. These are the key stats you absolutely need to know to understand what's happening right now.
First up, sales. So, 5,269 homes sold in November. What's the takeaway here? Well, the market is far from dead. People are absolutely still buying and selling homes. It's just happening at a calmer, more measured pace.
Next, let's talk inventory. We're looking at nearly 24,400 active listings. For buyers, this is huge. It means one thing, choice. You have options now that just, they didn't even exist a couple of years ago.
And because buyers have more choice, well, it makes sense that homes are taking a bit longer to sell. The median time a home was on the market before it went under contract was 59 days.
But hang on, this is where it gets really interesting. The median time is 59 days, right? But the average is all the way up at 84 days. So what does that big gap tell us? It tells us a very clear story. Overpriced homes are just sitting there for a long, long time, and they are dragging that average way up. The lesson here is crystal clear. Homes that are priced correctly from day one are still moving much, much faster.
Okay, so we've thrown a bunch of data at you. Now let's translate it. What does this new equilibrium, this new balance, actually mean for you?
All right, buyers, listen up because this is fantastic news for you. The whole power dynamic has shifted. You have more leverage. You can actually negotiate. Those days of 10-offer bidding wars, yeah, they're largely gone. You have time to breathe, to see multiple properties, to really think through your decision. You can even ask for seller concessions to help with your closing costs. It's just a calmer, saner experience all around.
Now for sellers, this is your friendly reality check. The market will humble you if you overprice your home, I promise. You just can't price your home like it's 2021 when buyers are living in 2025 with today's interest rates. It's just a recipe for sitting on the market. That means your presentation is absolutely critical. Professional photos, staging, it all matters more than ever. Your goal isn't to be the highest priced home in the neighborhood anymore. It's to be the best value.
And what about investors? Well, the frenzy is over, and that means real opportunities are starting to pop up again. This is a great time to focus on long-term growth. Maybe look into some of those zones that are friendly to short-term rentals, or even check out multifamily properties that have steady potential. But it is so crucial to remember that Phoenix isn't just one single market. It's not all the same. When you really zoom in, what you see is a tale of two very different valleys.
So on one hand, you've got the luxury markets. Think Scottsdale, Paradise Valley. In those areas, median prices are actually still up about 2 to 4%. These are the neighborhoods attracting cash buyers and, well, they're not making any more land, which helps support values. But on the other hand, you have the entry-level markets, especially in the West Valley. We're talking prices between, say, $380 and $440. These areas are feeling the pressure from interest rates the most, and that means you see more inventory and longer days on market.
Okay, let's bring it all together. What's the bottom line here, and more importantly, what should you do now?
If you take one single thing away from all this, I want it to be this. What we are seeing is a healthy, necessary normalization. It is not a crash. After that period of just unsustainable growth, the market had to recalibrate. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of balance. The key takeaway here is that we have finally landed on some sustainable footing. This is a market that no longer rewards frantic, hurried decisions. Instead, it rewards patience, it rewards preparation, and it rewards having a solid strategy. So whether you're a buyer who's finally enjoying having more options, or a seller who's laser-focused on providing the best value, or an investor looking for that perfect long-term hold, success now comes from making smart, informed moves. Because in a balanced market, strategy wins. The only question left is, what's yours?